Hello students, welcome to today's class. I am Sunitha from G.k.jain schools. Today I am going to teach you a poem from class 10 standard English textbook, and the name of the poem is Life by Henry van Dyke. This poem Life gives us a positive view about life. In life, we may face many obstacles, but we should face it with boldness and a cheerful attitude. We should enjoy our life moment by moment like a boy hoping for a better future. So students, this poem is a sonnet. What do you mean by a sonnet? The word sonnet is derived from the Italian word sonetto, which means a little song or small lyric. A sonnet has 14 lines and is written in iambic pentameter, a line with 10 syllables accented on every second beat. The first 8 lines of a sonnet is known as octave, and the last 6 lines is known as sestet. Sonnet can be categorized on the basis of their rhyme scheme. Our poem Life is a sonnet with 14 lines written by Henry van Dyke. Now let's see about the author Henry van Dyke.
About the author Henry van Dyke, born in 1852, died in 1933, was an American author, poet, educator and clergyman. He served as a professor of English literature at Princeton University between 1899 and 1923. He was elected to the American Academy of Arts and Letters and received many other honors. Poem lines. Let me but live my life from year to year with forward face and unreluctant soul, not hurrying to, not turning from the goal, not mourning for the things that disappear in the dim past, nor holding back in fear from what the future waits, but with a whole and happy heart that pays its toll to youth and age and travels on with cheer. So let the way wind up the hill or down, over rough or smooth, the journey will be joy, still seeking what I sought when but a boy. New friendship, high adventure and a crown. My heart will keep the courage of the quest and hope the road's last turn will be the best. Summary of the poem. The poet wants to live his life looking ahead, willing to do something. He neither wants to hurry nor move away from his goal. He does not want to mourn the things he has lost, nor hold back for fear of the future. He instead prefers to live his life with a whole and happy heart, which cheerfully travels from youth to old age. Therefore, it does not matter to him whether the path goes up or down the hill, rough or smooth. The journey will be joyful. He will continue to seek what he wanted as a boy. New friendship, high adventure and a crown. His heart will remain courageous and pursue his desires.
So students, I hope you have understood the summary of the poem. Now let's move on to the appreciation questions. First, let us identify the rhyming words in this poem. What do you mean by rhyming words? The similarity of sounds in the words at the end of the line in a verse is called as a rhyme. In this poem, the last words in the first line, year, and the fourth line, disappear, are rhyming words. Similarly, the last words in the second line and the third line, soul, goal, are the rhyming words. Let's identify the rhyming words in these 4 lines. Fear, cheer are the rhyming words. Pole, toll are the rhyming words. Let's move on to this 6 lines. Down, crown are the rhyming words. Joy, boy are the rhyming words. Last, quest, best are the rhyming words. So now let us identify the rhyming scheme in our poem. So students, now let us identify the rhyming scheme in this poem. What do you mean by rhyming scheme? Rhyming scheme is the pattern of the rhyming words at the end of each line. Each rhyming word in a stanza is given a letter. Usually a stanza means 4 lines. Now let's identify the rhyming scheme. Let's give the first rhyming word, the letter A. The second rhyming word, the letter B. Now since soul and goal are the rhyming words having a similar sound, so we'll write the letter repeated here as a rhyming scheme, B. Our rhyming words year and disappear are similar sounds, so we'll write the rhyming scheme and repeat the letter A. This is again A. This is B. This is again the rhyming scheme, B. And the last is A. For the next 6 lines, let's identify the rhyming scheme. Let's begin it with the letter A. This sound, jaw and boy are similar, so we'll do the same letters, B, B. Again, down and crown are the rhyming words with same sounds, so we'll write the alphabet letter A here. This sound is different from the other sounds, so now we'll give the letter C as the rhyming scheme. These 2 rhyming words are in similar sound, quest, best, so we'll give the letter C to this. So now our rhyming scheme in this poem is A, B, B, A, B, B, A, B, B, A, C, C. So we have identified the rhyming scheme of our poem. Now let's move on to the figure of speech in this poem. So students, now let us identify the figure of speech in the poem Life. First, let's identify an alliteration. You know what is an alliteration? It is the repetition of the same letters, mainly the consonant letters. So it's very easy for students. They'll be able to identify the alliteration in lines of a poem. So we have alliteration over here in this particular line, where a letter F in forward and the letter F in face is repeated. The alliteration is the use of the same letter or sound at the beginning of a word in a line of a poem. So let's search for some more alliteration words. See here in this particular line we have the letters H of happy and H of heart. It's a repetition of the same letter H. So here we have an alliteration. So in this particular line we have an alliteration. Now let's move on. Yes, in this particular line still, yes, the first letter S of the word still, and seeking, the first letter S. And in the same line if you see, sought, yes, the beginning first letter S. So we have identified our alliterations in our poem, that is forward face, happy heart, still seek, sought. So the repetition of the first letter in the words is the alliteration. Next let's move on to the personification. What do you mean by personification? Personification means if you see a human behavior in a non-living thing or object, is called as a personification. In this particular line, so let the way wind up the hill or down. Here, way, the word way is being personified as human. It takes up the hill or down. So we see a human behavior in way. So way here is being personified. So we have personification and a figure of speech here. Let me write here personification. So we have another figure of speech in this poem. It is called as oxymoron. What do you mean by oxymoron? Means two adjacent words having opposite meaning is called oxymoron. So let's identify the oxymoron. Here, youth and the word age are opposite meanings. So you have oxy. This is an oxymoron here. Can you see some more place? Yes. We have here rough or smooth, which are having opposite meaning. So this is an oxymoron. And next we can see here up and down. So up and down are opposite words. That's an oxymoron here. So three places you have oxymoron in this poem. So this is a kind of figure of speech which are having opposite meanings. The words having opposite meanings are called oxymoron. So students, I hope you have understood the figure of speech also. So there are some more ERC questions which are asked in the examination other than the rhyming words, rhyming scheme, the figure of speech, that is the poetic devices, what we call it as. So you have to prepare well the meaning, that is the summary of the poem. Once you know very well the summary of the poem, you will be able to very well answer the ERC questions which are asked in the examination. I hope you have understood the poem Life by Henry Van Dyke, and you will be able to very successfully attend all the questions which are asked in the examination. So students, thank you so much. Before I wind up, let me tell you the admissions for our school is open for the academic year 2020-21 for the classes pre-KG to 11th standard. And if you have queries, you can log on to our school website www.g.k.jainschools.org. You can follow us at our Facebook G.k.jain Schools, Twitter G.k.jain Schools, Instagram G.k.jain Schools. Okay students, see you again in the next class. Thank you students.